Again,
Welcome back, guys, to Vibe Theory. I'm your girl, L-Boogie.
And I'm Beeze.
Yes, guys, we have got a treat for you. Today we're talking about Confessions, Usher, the album that basically changed and rewired what it's meant to be honest in R&B music. So we are jam-packed here. We want to talk about the fact that this album is 20 million plus copies sold worldwide. This is diamond certified,
Yep.
and it is still considered one of the best-selling R&B albums of the 21st century. So, guys, we are talking about this album because, again, they had a repressing for vinyl. And remind you that the vinyl community now has toppled over $1 billion in revenue for vinyl. Let that sink in. Vinyl is now where we are seeing consumers are looking for tangible music. So let's talk about that. Why everyone is running out trying to get this album on vinyl. I already know. Now, I just said it was certified diamond. Certified diamond.
Yeah.
So let's begin the conversation. So we're going to run through the track list, guys, and we're going to get into it and why it is still meant to be one of the most profound and prolific R&B albums of the 21st century. So grab your drinks, get comfortable, because this is Vibe Theory.
Love it.
Right.
Love it. I mean, fam, first off, everybody's buying vinyl because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's first and foremost. I love vinyl. Loved it ever since I was a kid. That crisp, that crackle when you put the pin on it. Yeah, it just, and everything can't be on vinyl. Everything can't be on it. Trash cannot be on vinyl. It has to be good stuff. It has to be
Let's
good
say that.
music. Good music deserves to be on vinyl. And this is where I will say, Confessions is one of those albums, because I'm gonna say this. I don't know what Usher was going through. Maybe he was living his hope phase. I don't know. But the album itself, when he came out with this, damn. That's all I got.
Exactly.
That is all I got.
Exactly. Because Confessions leaned into scandal, infidelity, heartbreak. And I'm telling you, it was one of those movies. You can say it was a movie. I mean, again, the way he kind of went through what he was experiencing in the romance and relationship era, it was just unmatched. It literally was unmatched.
Yeah, and I mean, and then you have the younger generation who wants to emulate him. They look back at this album. That is Confessions is their blueprint. When they go back and look at music, this is that album, and rightfully so. I mean, looking at the playlist of it, I mean, that's a song that's still played to this day. Sometimes I get tired of it because I'm just like, what the hell? But yeah, it's still one of those songs. And then Confessions and Confessions Part 2. I mean, who knew that Confessions Part 2 was going to be better than Confessions Part 1?
Part 1. Exactly. That's crazy. The second part of it. And again, we have to go back into what song kind of emulated that. And the first thing that I think about is Woman to Woman. Shirley Brown.
Okay.
There was a second part to Woman to Woman. You know that, right?
There was. Yeah, there was. There was.
But in this case, part 1 was far better than part 2.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember part 2.
No, I don't. But for Usher, part 2 was better than part 1.
Was better than part 1. It's crazy, the complexity. Because again, if you put Confessions part 2 up against Burn, think about that. Just the complexity. Burn, man. What?
Yeah, yeah. I
Ooh.
mean, it was, it that this album itself, it like you said, it went through the motions of romance, infidelity,
Mhm.
reconciliation, just and then also having fun. Like I
Right.
said, having your whole phase. So, so it
Right.
really just
Whole
encompassed
face.
all of that. Because I mean, because when he released this album, it came out first with Yeah. So you're in
Mhm.
the club scene and, he's keeping out somebody. And so, you got a chance to see, what made Usher famous and him dancing and everything like that. And, and then, with Caught Up, because that's one, those were one of those little nuggets that was fun
Right.
because, it was
That's
kind
right.
of that nostalgic, going back in time type of songs where you got a chance again to see Usher, dance. And he doesn't get a really a chance to do that as much as he used to. So you had
Exactly.
Caught Up.
Leaned in
Yeah. Yeah. And I
to his
mean, it was
Michael
just,
Jackson influences.
yeah. Exactly. You had Bad Girl. It was just My Boo with Alicia Keys. So,
Right.
it was just a lot of good songs, good music on this album as a whole that you could play it from beginning to end. And it was that type of album. And so,
Right.
again, that's why it was a blueprint. That's why it still is. I mean, that's why it's relevant today. And the fact that we're
Exactly.
selling 30 years of
Mhm.
of of confessions, which thanks, I feel old, but 30 years, which I still can't believe it, but 30 years, it deserves to be on vinyl, and I am here for it. I will probably get it and play it
Oh,
from
I know
front to
him
back
too.
and
Ah.
and it will be nostalgic for me. And some songs I'll let play, even though I'm just like I still can't stand this song. But
So you didn't like Yeah? You didn't like Yeah?
no, I liked it. I did, but it was
They just
so
wore it out for you.
overplayed when it came out because it was like because it was at that time too where Little John was at his highest, and you
Mhm.
had Ludacris on everybody and their mama freaking album, and it was just like, "Okay, I'm good, I'm done, yeah." So,
But,
if it's
when
that
I
type.
look at Yeah, okay. So, listen, but when I get what you're saying because it was played
Mhm.
everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, it was played everywhere. I mean,
Yes.
because it was a club banger or whatever, right?
Yes.
And it was a party
Mhm.
starter. It literally was a
Yeah.
party starter.
Mhm.
But here's the thing with Yeah, which I love the fact that it showcased all three of these guys that were moving
Mhm.
in different eras. You got rap, you got hip hop, and then you have
Mhm.
R&B,
Yeah.
all culminating together, pushing this
Mhm.
project through. What I saw and what it still represents to me is Atlanta is now got the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
running with it.
Definitely.
And I said, here we go. We done.
Yeah.
We done. Music has changed and it's going to
Mhm.
forever be cemented because now Atlanta has put their footprint on it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
here we go. We're going to
Yep.
change this thing because we are really, I mean, you got to think about it. R&B, we're at the time where R&B was slowly grabbing the hip hop artists. They get the hottest rapper to rap a verse
Mhm.
on their track or whatever if it's going to be a huge single.
Yeah.
But here's another thing: R&B is now taking a back seat. So you see kind of
Mhm.
like the changing of the guards where R&B is not pushing that forefront anymore. Rap albums, a rap single. Now the R&B artist is a feature on the rapper's
Mhm.
single. But with Usher and Lil Jon and what Luda was able to do with this project with Yeah, it was like, no, all three can
Yeah.
emerge together and everybody's equal. And
Yeah.
that's what I loved about Yeah, because it
And
did
I feel you
showcase that.
there.
because it
And
took
that's
a
a nice
strong
perspective.
writer, and we got to give respect to Sean Garrett. He was the writer of Yeah. It
Mhm.
took a strong writer to go in and write Yeah, and then for he had to understand the R&B artist and how he was going to deliver it as far as cadence, melody,
Mhm.
and then again these other two entities had to come in and wrap themselves around the core, which
Mhm.
is R&B.
Yeah.
I love that because that's a great representation of how an R&B artist and how a song, a perfect song, because I always say that that is a perfect song because it has a great verse, chord, bridge, everything. The transitions
Yeah.
in it was perfect. They nailed this. It
Yeah.
absolutely nailed it. That's why Jermaine Dupri came back and did Welcome to Atlanta, and it nailed. He nailed it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they know that core essence of what it takes to build a song. That's why
And I love
it
that
will always
perspective.
be. It will always be. It's like Billie Jean. It's like ding ding.
I love that
It's going to
perspective.
always be here. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that perspective, and you're right. I mean, it encompassed all of that, and it worked. It worked. It was a formula that worked, and hence why it stands the test of time. Hence why you still hear it being played on the airwaves, and why it still is a relevant party song. Because you go to any wedding, it's still played. You go to any
Exactly.
party, it's still played. So it is still a relevant song. And I mean, and hence why, looking at Apple Music, it has, you know, Confessions as one of the 100 best albums. And that speaks volumes.
Yes.
With
Exactly.
all of the music that we have, it is in the list of 100 best albums. I
Best albums
mean,
of all time. Mm.
that that in itself is crazy. And you already hit the nail on the head. I mean, worldwide, this album, released over 20 million
Mm-hmm.
albums worldwide,
20
diamond
millions
certified.
plus. Diamond
You know, that
Diamond certified. Not platinum.
that is
Diamond.
exactly, that is in itself crazy. I mean, in the US and it all, alone, uh 10 million of that belongs to the
Mm-hmm.
US.
Come on, man.
So I mean,
Come on, man.
that is just
And counting, because
crazy.
now it's going to further increase because now, because of the vinyl issue and the vinyl
Yes.
release, it is going to
Mhm.
go even further.
It is. It is. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, Eh, yeah, I can honestly not say enough about this album because I mean, it averaged, if you're looking at the metrics, it scored a 71
Mm-hmm.
out of metrics based on 13 reviews. Um, it's top on the Pop Matters charts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, it got critical acclaim. So, this being one of Usher's best albums, yeah, I mean, again, and it was nominated in 8 categories. It won 3.
Mm.
3 of those categories. It won for Best Contemporary R&B Album, Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group, and that was for My Boo, and then
Mm.
Best Rap Song Collaboration, that was with Yeah. So, I mean,
There you have it.
he
There you
won
have it.
so much with this
Mm-hmm.
particular album all by itself. And then on top of that, the commercial appeal, and that's the other
Right.
part, the commercial appeal
Commercial
that he
appeal.
got with this album
Yes.
because I mean, it crossed over as well into pop with Yeah,
As
with My Boo.
right, right. And so here's the thing: when we say that, we are popular music. You know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to say, oh, okay, you got to cross over into no, 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 no. We are popular music.
Yeah.
Anything that we put out is the popular. by popular demand. That we
Mhm.
fuel that, you know.
Yep.
So again, this is how our music and we're showing up in all of these genres, whether they like it or not,
Yep.
because we're showing up in all these genres. But this is
Mhm.
the question. How did this album influence R&B and pop artists who came after it?
Ooh, great question. I mean, it's a big influence because I mean, look at the male artists that have followed since Usher. I mean,
Mhm.
love him or hate him, Justin Bieber. That's one of
Okay.
Usher's prodigies, and
Yeah.
you can see little pockets of Usher and what he
Mm,
did when he was younger. Now, what he's doing as an older artist, he's kind of, found his own niche. But when he was
mhm.
younger, you saw Usher all day in
You saw the
Justin
blueprint.
Bieber's performance.
Right. You saw the
The young
formula
man,
applied. Mhm.
exactly. The young man who recently come out, he was an actor, started out in acting. He's now performing. A name escapes me right now. I cannot think of his name right now. Um, I cannot think of his name right now. Dang it! And I'm gonna get it once the show is done. But he
What
emulates
has he
Usher.
played in as far as because you say he was an actor. He started out as
He
an
was an
actor and now
actor.
he's a
Yeah,
singer.
he is a child actor. One movie where he really didn't talk. He was very shy, but when he sang, he was, he was comfortable and everything else. I'm gonna get his name for you. I promise.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but but yeah, but he, new cat that's in the stream, but he emulates Usher. He's always dancing and his stuff and praises Usher for what he's shown him, and Usher has taken him under his wing as well.
Okay.
And so, you see it in his body of work and his performances. And then you're also seeing it from artists overseas. And so
Mhm.
even, Asian artists.
Mhm.
So you're seeing pockets of what Usher has done through the years
Mhm.
and you're seeing it come full circle.
Mhm.
And so that's where I love um, what Usher has done. I mean, I remember the very first song that I gravitated to Usher, and it was Many Ways. And so, so to see him from then to now, he has created a legacy. And
Yes.
I don't think he's done. I think
Oh,
there's
he's
more
definitely not
music in
done.
him. Yeah, there's more music
Absolutely.
in him, and so eh, so yeah, so there's definitely people who definitely emulate, and he has laid that foundation. So what about you?
So for me, I feel like, and I guess I need to figure out the timeline because did Usher, okay, so did Confessions come out before Beyonce? I struggle with that because I'm like, I think it did
No.
come out before B-Day.
Oh, before B Day. Let
B-Day
me
was a
see.
single, not Destiny's Child. See, this is what I'm trying. This is the argument that I always say.
So let me
I
see. So I'm gonna take a look because I remember she was in a video of his. So
What video was she in
uh
of his?
Um, I want to say Bad Girl. I think she danced with him in
She
Bad
was in
Girl.
Bad Girl. Oh,
I
let
think
me have to go
so.
back.
Yeah. So Dangerously in
Okay.
Love came out in 2003.
Dangerously in Love. That's the first one. That's her first. No, I thought
Mm-hmm.
B-Day was her first one.
Let me see. Let
Oh
me
no, no, no.
see.
I think you're right. You're right. You're right. Dangerously.
Yeah, Dangerously and then B Day 2026. So let me
Okay, so
see. Let me
Dangerously in Love was her first solo
mm-hmm.
project debut, and you
Yep.
said
And then
2003.
yep, and then B Day was 2006.
So
So
when did
then
Confessions come out?
So yes, Confessions came out 2004. So Confessions came out first, and then and then
Dangerously in Love.
Well, Dangerously in Love came out first. Confessions came out next,
Oh,
and then B-Day
B-Day
came out
came out
2006.
in 2006. Okay.
Yep, yep,
All right.
yep. So
So
what you
here's
got?
the thing.
What you got?
So this is what I got. Okay. Now, I've always said that when we were talking about these verses, it should have been Beyonce versus Usher. That would have been the
Okay,
biggest draw, huge draw on both sides. You
okay,
got females, you got the males. You
okay,
see what I'm saying?
okay, okay,
Because then you can take project for project and go for head to head. You see what I'm saying?
okay,
The bodies of work. I always hear pushback like, no, you can't do that because, she got Destiny Child. But no, if we go by, she could start with her solo career and run it
okay,
head to
okay,
head with Usher. Because
okay,
again, that's a fair fight because you got to think about iconic status as far as Beyonce and him. Showmanship, I really do believe that would be the biggest draw on both sides. Because again, think about the powerhouses when you're looking at bodies of work
okay,
that can
okay,
go head to head. That
okay.
would be a show. That would definitely be the best verses ever. You talking about shutting down the internet. You talking about all eyes glued. That would be
Well,
amazing.
you would definitely have the internet locked up for sure if those two
Exactly.
ever did a versus battle.
That would be it. That would be the ultimate verses. The
Yeah,
ultimate
yeah,
verses.
because you do have a long career for both of them, whether it's,
Hmm.
Beyonce, and even if she threw in Destiny's Child.
I
Um,
wouldn't even do that though. That's what I'm saying. She could run it and she could run it and didn't even have to bring in Renaissance or Cowboy Carter. She could run it until she stops right before Renaissance and Cowboy Carter and just let us go there. Let us go from that point backward to
okay,
Dangerously in Love. That would be all we need right there,
okay,
head to head.
okay.
Because honestly, I think his one album, I think Confessions could body anything else she put out. This is just me, and I do like Beyonce, but
Okay.
if I have to go, that one he could just put up. What's the other one? 17. What's the other one? Uh, the one that became before that. Was it 1786? What it was 17?
1847 or something like that. I know what you're talking
1747?
about.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep, I
He
know
could
what you're
start
talking about.
there, or he could
Hmm.
go with My Way. Listen, he could stay My Way and run it to Confessions, and he could body her.
You trying to start a fight with me with the beehive, man?
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to let them think. I'm just, I'm just reminding them. I'm gonna remind them. I understand. Let's do it though. This would be the best as far as creatively and musically. This would be the best verses. Swiss, Tim, y'all need to holler at me, man. I'm just saying. That would be the best verses. That would shut it down.
I
Cause
said,
again, they could both compete. And they wouldn't even have to bring every collection in. Think about it. This would be
look, it would definitely shut it down. I agree with you there. It would definitely shut it
I
down.
like Beyonce. I do. I like her stuff. But this is where you would have to go into the bag and really think about what's monumental. What moved the culture forward as far as curating your selection, your playlist is what you gonna go
Hmm.
head to head. That's where I would like for them to take verses to really be
Ooh.
thoughtful in how we're going to strike song for song. Now, we got to give it to when the verses against Babyface and, and Teddy Riley. But they were going match for match as far as what song. Babyface was thinking about that. What's going to hit you? What moved the culture? What set me
Yeah.
apart from what everybody other producer was doing at the time? That's why I
Well,
love the way he carefully curated his set list. That's what we need
yeah.
to do. Because again, I'm coming off of Jill Scott and thinking about set list, placement
Yeah.
of song. This is what makes a great show. You can have an
Yeah.
artist that has the number one album in the country, but if they playing, they skipping around, they play all these crazy songs, you like, why they didn't play this? And why they didn't perform this song? That's not what I walked away from Jill. I did not walk
Yeah.
away from Jill and say she should have did this. She did Crime Royal on Ice.
That's a good one. That's a good cut. That's a good cut.
It was
But
nothing left for me to say.
but here's the thing. So going back to verses, okay. First off, you would first have to have somebody who thinks that way. So that's the first thing. Because we've said it before. You can't have trash artists and
True.
expect to have a good performance. So that's the
Right.
first
But
thing.
that's why I'm saying,
Or
Swizz,
mediocre
Tim,
artists.
look at us. We can get you together.
You
We
cannot
can get
have
you together.
mediocre artists and expect a good performance. You cannot.
True indeed. True
So
indeed.
that's the first thing. So having, like you said, Babyface and Teddy Riley, you've got impeccable, legendary artists who have a history and a catalog body of work that
Right.
speaks for itself.
Right.
But then let's follow that behind where you got Tank and Tyrese.
Yeah.
So again, that's where you have to have the conversation of what do they actually want with verses. So and that's a conversation for a whole totally different day.
That's
Now,
that's another episode.
so so going back to Beyonce and Usher, this hypothetical versus battle. Now, in their own right, they hold it down, with the body of work that
They can
they've
go toe to
they've
toe.
provided. And they could go toe to toe. But also you have to look at it from the perspective of, you know, where would you go with it? Because you know what? Because here's the thing, even though I'm how can I say, for myself, I'm equal for both of them. I really am.
Same here. I'm equal
I
for
don't
both of them
hold
too.
one
Over the
over
other.
the other.
There you go.
And, but if I look at it from a perspective of who's moved the needle more, honestly, this is where I would actually say it would be Beyonce. Why
How?
I would say that? Here's why I would say that. You don't have anybody out there saying, "Oh, I'm an Usherite," or "I'm a this, I'm a that." You don't have
Well,
that.
I mean, the
You
folks ain't
have,
gonna say that. They ain't gonna be that. They ain't gonna be that. They just Team Usher.
and you don't have that. But you got the Beehive, and you have men and women who are proud to say that they are be a part of the Beehive. So
Okay. So
that's where I say Beyonce has moved that needle and has pushed it a little bit more than Usher had. And then,
okay.
then here's the other part of why I would say that too, is because with Beyonce's music, she shifted away from the girly safe pop to discovering herself and being
Right.
seductive. And then on
Right.
top of that, with Renaissance, you know, bringing in house, bringing in Vogue, bringing in, she has touched different things that you've never seen Usher do. And so that's why I would say she has moved the needle a whole lot more than Usher has. No, nothing against Usher. Nothing against Usher.
Oh
He
no,
has
Beeze.
good music. He has held it down. He is still, nice and slow. Let's do it. But
Right.
again, if we're looking at pushing the needle, yes, I have to give it to Beyonce.
But
And I
okay.
give it to her because of the different genres that she's gone into.
But
So
see, okay, I understand what you're saying, and I hear you loud and clear. But this is what I'm talking about. Music for music.
yeah,
Not
even
what you
music for
move as
music.
for music for music. Because I'm
Yeah,
saying stop it before we get to Renaissance. She can
but you
stop.
can't. You
You
can't. You
can.
can't.
You can.
Nah.
I would go to a certain decade. I'm telling you, this what I'm saying. If they wanted to take, because there's so much that they could do with verses, and I really do. Swizz, Tim, y'all holler at your girls. We got you. As far as forward thinking of where we can move verses into, because again, you can
Okay.
take it outside of what is. Because the idea was just, hey, let me just play a few of my songs. You play a few of your songs, just like when we was growing up
Yeah.
and you would spend time with your cousins. And this is when we would record. You would press play and record at the same time on the dual cassette tape. And you
Yep.
were recording off the radio. But everybody didn't record the same songs in the
Mhm.
same order.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. The love letter
Okay.
to music. So if you're
Okay.
talking from that aspect, playlist to
Uh-huh.
playlist, let's do it that way.
Okay.
Not what moved culturally, but playlist to
Okay.
playlist. What song actually
Okay.
resonated with the masses? That's how we would market it. Then
Okay.
she could
And
go as far as stopping at Renaissance. She wouldn't even need to go into her bag and get Renaissance. If she was solid on what she had that comes before that, up until Renaissance.
okay. And then here's where
That
I'll say this. So then okay. So if we did that, so
Confessions
let's
got
look
it.
at Usher. Let's look at Usher. So
Confessions got it.
depending on where if you wanted to go from 8701, those are the numbers.
There it is.
8701,
8701. Yeah.
Confessions, Here I Stand, Raymond versus Raymond, Looking for Myself, Hard to Love, and okay, so we're gonna stop there. So we're going
Wait a
from
minute. No, where's
2000.
my way? I didn't hear you say my way.
Now, if you're going my way, that's going 97. So how far are we going? So that's the
Oh,
problem.
so okay,
That's the
okay,
problem.
okay, okay. All right, okay. But that's what I'm talking about. That's the conversation. So okay, so we can't go my 97 because she ain't got nothing with my 97. She got Destiny. She was still with Destiny Child.
She was with Destiny
So we can throw that in. I'm gonna let you have them little nuggets. You can throw them little songs in if you want. Bills. You can throw them in. Come ahead. We can do that. So let's start at my way. Walk it back.
And so then, if we're looking at it from the perspective of Beyonce's, we know that 2003 is when her solo career started. So we've got Dangerously in Love, B-Day. Then we've got I Am Sasha Fierce, 4, Beyonce, Lemonade, Renaissance that came out in 2022. So we're stopping
Okay, so
there.
I will stop at Lemonade. Do those 4.
We stopping at Lemonade.
That's what I'm saying. Stop it at Lemonade. Don't include Renaissance. That's what I'm saying, Beeze. Don't include Renaissance. Stop it at Lemonade.
Okay. So if you're stopping at Lemonade, I mean, okay, we're going to have to definitely say this for a whole totally different day because it didn't got off track. They got off track. We're going to be talking about confessions and over confessions. So, everybody, we're going to bring this hypothetical version to a
y'all.
totally different conversation because we're going to
Exactly.
have the track record. And just for the record, if we're going to look at it from Team Usher and Team Beyonce,
I'm Team Usher
L-Boogie
then.
is clearly Team Usher, and I will
I'm
definitely
Team Usher.
Team B because I mean, one, Virgo's got to stay together. So
okay, all right, cool. So that's why you will help. This is why you celebrate her. Okay, so that's why. Deal with the Virgo party. Okay, all right, cool. So let's do this. All right, Vibe Theory fam. Let me tell you, this is what we're gonna do. When we get ready to drop this, we're gonna do a playlist on Apple Music. I'm gonna do all Usher. She gonna do all B. Let's see Hypothetical versus
And we
Dead
gonna
Hill. And then Swiss
so
and Tempo, holla at your girl. Holla at us, and we will help you out.
exactly. So, but getting back to confession, so the actual conversation
Yes.
we're supposed to have, you
Right.
know, I mean, again, I mean, so again, you know, and no shade to Usher. I still like it, and I still like you, Usher. Just in case you happen to listen, Usher. I
That's
mean,
right.
you
He
know,
listening.
confession. I mean, like I said, it was a good
This was the
album. I mean,
album.
I love and I even
Oh
love
my
the
God.
collaboration between him and Alicia Keys because I mean, honestly, they stole it. I mean, there was a time where I was like, man, I mean, is this real? Did they have at one time a distant relationship? They sold it. They made it believable. And
But
so I
he
mean,
was able to do that again, though, Beezy. This is not new because he did it with Ella May in that song that he and her did together. So again, he know how to do it because he's a romancer.
are you talking
He's a
about "Don't Waste My
romantic.
Time"?
That's right.
That's my cut. I love the beat. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a
The
beat
beat,
person.
everything old
I
school.
mean,
That's
it's a
why
two step. That's a two
that's
step.
right. It's a steppers jam. It is truly a
Okay,
steppers
but anyway,
jam. You can cut a rug. But here's the thing. And then he did it again with Robert. We have to put Robert in there. Same girl.
yeah,
That was brilliant the way they did that. We got to
yeah.
give it up there. Come on, man. When you talk about artistry, come on. You
Look, I
got
mean,
to.
don't get me wrong. I mean, he's got some cuts. Don't get me wrong. He's got some good
That's
cuts
what I'm talking about.
because
Just the,
you
just,
know
oh,
one
my.
of the albums that's underrated, "Hard to Love,"
Yes.
"Missing You." You know, he
Okay.
old Steely Dan song for that one, and that's one of my favorite songs by him. So I mean, so don't get me wrong. Like I said, you know, Usher in his own right is a legend. Usher is an icon.
Exactly. When it
He is.
comes to bros making R&B, again, he had that formula and
Yeah.
he spoke to the bros. He was simple. You can equate that with the whole My Life situation with Mary J. Blige. If you want to throw her in there
Mhm.
as well with this
Yeah.
conversation. Because he
No.
was speaking from a
Yeah.
male point of view as far as what they go through and they
Yeah.
indiscretions without ratting them out. It's a
Yeah.
Martin. He was like a Martin. I always say Martin is a bros show. I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
Beyonce
And
is
I
the
mean,
living
and he
secret.
did. I love this thing. That's my
She's a
show.
living
But
secret.
anyway,
Or
but
girlfriends. How about that? How about
like I
girlfriends?
said, no, living single's right. But no, I mean, but seriously, I mean, you know, and I get that. I get that, and that's why, you know, like I said, that's why confessions put you through that way because I mean, you know, going back to the song Confession, I mean, how many guys, you know, get caught up that way where you know, or even just women
He
because
just
it's
didn't
not just
incriminate
guys.
himself. He made you feel sorry for him in this song. I mean, it literally like, God damn, bro, I hate that shit happening. You know what? But you saying
You know,
yourself like, damn, he did cause that though, you know. But he didn't make you choose sides. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? It was like, come on,
Hey,
girl, just listening to him. Just hear him out.
you know, you got caught up. You got caught up.
Oh,
You got caught up. It was supposed to be a one night stand. She ended up being pregnant. It
it wasn't me.
happened. It was relatable. It
It
was
wasn't me.
relatable.
He was like, it
So,
wasn't me.
you know, or you got caught cheating. You know, so the Confessions in itself was just a relatable album. And I think again that's
Yes.
why it stands the test of time because it's a relatable album and why you
Right.
can play it from front to back. You know, because I mean, you know, how many of us have a person that, you know, is that one that we may have thought got away or you had that
Right.
connection and you know, things of
Mm-hmm.
that. So you were riding that wave with Confessions. You were seeing his growth as
Yeah.
a man
Yeah.
with Confessions. And that's why it worked. And why it's an iconic album, why it stands the test of time, why Usher is a legend, and then just getting kudos to the people that he worked with on this album.
Absolutely.
So, I mean,
Absolutely.
that just really just made magic happen and why it's one of the 100 best albums. So,
Exactly.
again, I mean,
Exactly.
there's really nothing that you can say negative about this album, and then that just really, again, stands the test of time. I mean, 30 years, and let's be
Exactly.
honest, we're going to be talking about it another 30 years from now because, again,
Exactly.
stands the test of time.
If it was released today in the era of TikTok, I do believe that the instant reaction, it will be everybody will be floored. I'm telling you, in
Yeah.
this era, that's why this album really has not aged.
Nope.
Come on, man. You know, you got some
Yeah.
iconic albums that age. That's why I would say that this album is one of those most iconic, up there with Thriller, because Thriller hasn't aged. It still is resonating today,
Yeah.
even with the
Yeah.
sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, think about it. I mean, freaking Lil Jon hadn't changed. So, I mean, yeah, that
Yeah,
hadn't
it's
changed.
still
So,
relevant. He took everyday genre, our own everyday language, and played it into a song, and it's so iconic that, you know, how many times have you come just say, yeah,
okay.
when we get excited? That's the beauty of Black art. I'm just going
Yep.
to put that out there, just us as being raw and authentic as we can be.
Yeah.
He took that, and again, that's why I say,
Mhm.
with them and that particular project, we have to be proud as Southerners for what that project really meant
Mhm.
for all of us. They
Yeah.
didn't mean to have everybody on their back, but they did. We went through and we pushed barriers as far as what that was, because it gave a glimpse to everyone of Southern hospitality, of
Yeah.
Southern culture, just how we talk and our camaraderie with
Yep.
each other.
Yep.
Guys, if you love this conversation and you just truly want to keep the conversation going, because with this here, again, we're going to follow up to this, guys. So I would like to
Yeah.
know who's all Team Us
And who is Team
and who's all
Beyonce?
the B.
Okay.
Now,
Virgos
Beehive, don't
unite.
come for me, please, because I still love B. I love B.
Come for
I love
L-Boogie.
B. Don't come for me. Don't come for me, y'all. I love
Give
her.
her that
I
smoke.
love her. I love her. I love
Give
her
her that
stuff.
smoke.
Yeah, yeah, you know, I love her stuff. But at this time, I'm Team Usher. So, bros, y'all hit me up in the comments if y'all want to see me rock shout. Help me build this playlist, because it may be some stuff I might go under the radar and don't hit. Let me know what your favorite song or what song should be on my playlist to beat Beeze. Okay.
And everybody, give me some songs that shouldn't be on Team Beyonce.
Uh,
So, because
and it can't be no Renaissance. You can't do no Cowboy Carter. You can't do it. Them songs is off limits.
that's all right. That's all right. Limit us. That's all right. We
Stop at
still gonna rise
Lemonade.
above. We
Stop
gonna
at
rise
Lemonade.
above.
Okay,
That's all
all
right.
right,
We still
cool.
gonna make
That's fine.
magic happen. So let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Challenge.
Virgos
And
unite. Shalom.
challenge. Yo, we will be back. Y'all, please hit us up in the comments. Please follow us on all social medias. Vibe Theory. Vibe Theory. We can't say it enough. Guys, until the next
Exactly.
one, keep your faith and we will keep the peace. Later.
And like,